Up guys, so this is episode 3 of Operation X, and I apologize. I said that at the beginning of this episode I would have had the list finished, but I realize there's some stuff that's happening as the list is getting constructed that I should really show you guys. So we have a slight issue. I was using this pack of keyword, right? If we look here, and let's full screen this so you can see. I'll zoom in a bit, and begin, as Quill18 says. Unfortunately, I thought that we had about like 12,000, something like that, items, right? In the price range we wanted, because we wanted the price range of, actually, I'm not going to worry about that right now. There were about like 10,000 items. Unfortunately, not every single one of those items has pack of in the title. Sometimes it has just the word of, and that's too vague. I really want to make sure that only items in this list that contain the word pack are included. So I recorded them anyway, right? And we have this list here in Sublime Text of, there we go. Now you guys can see about 15,000 entries. This has a lot of duplicates. We're going to go through and trim it. But what I want to explain to you guys is that this list is too much. We need to be picky and make sure that only items in this list that include the word pack are included. Like all of these are fine, right? And that's okay, that one's a little bit iffy. But then look at these, like, okay, these are still pack of. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. That's a pack of. These are all fine. But now let's change this to like, oh, I know why it's fine, because it's giving me the randomized price filter. Okay, so what we need to do is go to the beginning of this so I can stop confusing you guys. This error message should go away. Yep. So the beginning of the search is fine. We have pack of. These are the ideal items that I'm trying to post. Products, often food and like sauce, that kind of thing, that have pack of. So they're like 12 units in each container, right? That's what I want. These products are perfect. But as we get further into the search result, you're going to start to see that they start to get a little bit vague. These are still okay. Pack of. This is still what we want. But what we need to do is go to the end of the search result. So this has 400 results. So we're going to go to page... Let's go to page like 15. Okay? So there, that wasn't available here, so I just changed the URL to show me page 15. This is still showing good items. There were tons of pages with bad items on them. And now, of course, that I'm recording the video, it's like, no, I'm a perfect search result. I have everything that you want. You should use me. Basically, what starts to happen is you get these kind of random items that I call fluffer items, and a lot of books. And they're things that have no occurrence of the word pack, they just have of. So it would be like Flight of the Conchords. Has nothing to do with what I'm trying to post. I don't want it in my list. So the way that I'm going to handle that is by sorting everything with Sublime Text. So the raw search result of all of that search that we showed earlier resulted in 15,000 links. However, a lot of these links are duplicates. If you can see at the end here, there is this customer reviews thing that we got rid of earlier. We're going to get rid of that again. So highlight, Control F, Alt Enter, and then backspace. That will delete it. And now we're going to go select everything, and then permute, go to Edit, permute lines unique. And pay attention here, because the number is 15,000 now, right? Oh, 8,000. So in reality, we actually only have 8,000 unique URLs here. And the problem is that a lot of these are fluffer items that I don't want to post, so I need to eliminate them even further. And so the way that we're going to do that is by making a new file, and this is going to be the final items, final bulk posting items. Final 10,000 count bulk URL list. Okay, so everything that we've put here is ready to be posted, right? This is just what we're currently working with. What I need to do is find every occurrence of the word pack. So about 5,300 of these have the word pack in them. And here's an example. Okay, this is an example of what I would call a fluffer item, because it doesn't have the word pack, but it was included in the search result for pack of. See this? This is not an item that I would want to sell. My internet is being slow, so you can't see the photos, but this is a book. An appeal to the citizens of London against the alleged lawful mode of packing special juries. So, you know, I'm sure it's possible to sell this, but this is not what I'm focusing on. Books do not get a whole lot of attention. I want to post items that are more likely to sell. I want to post items that include the word pack. So I'm getting rid of everything in this list that doesn't include the word pack. And that's really simple. All we do is enter pack into the control find search thing, and then click Alt Enter. This is going to highlight every occurrence of the word pack. And so now we're going to click Home. This is going to take the cursor of every occurrence of that word to the beginning of the line. Now we're going to hold Shift and then hit End. Oh, I screwed something up here. Oh, no, I didn't. There should be some missing from this list. Yes, perfect. There's plenty missing. Now we click Control Copy. Then we go to this final list and paste. Look at that! Frickin' word wrap. Bum bum. It always takes me a minute to turn word wrap off. There we are. Now these are the items we actually want to post. Every single item in this list has the occurrence of the word pack in it. 30 pack, something bonus pack, 5 pack. That's what we want. And so I need to find probably like 12 or 13,000 items because some of them are going to error. So far I have about 5,100. Awesome. That's actually much better than I thought this was going to be. So now we need to go back to Walmart because I got to now figure out, okay, what else do I want to populate this store with? I'm paying for an anchor store anyway, so even if I post nothing, I'm paying for 10,000 listings. So I really should post 10,000 listings. So what else sells multi-quantity? What else works the same way pack of? Oh, okay. What about count? CT. Let's see how Walmart handles this. Walmart often uses the abbreviation CT for, 76 count. See? This has 76 units, so it says 76 CT. 22 CT, so that's 22 of these, right? So this is kind of like the multi-pack thing. But how many items are we talking about here? Is this enough that we could fill the rest? Ooh, this looks promising, guys. This definitely looks promising. Let's go down, and we want to change the price. What did I work with last time? It was like 6 to 35. Are we talking about enough items here? 8,000. Hey, look at that. So let's check the kind of viability of this. This is the very beginning of the search result, right? So it's going to show us the items that are good. But what you often find is as you get deeper into the search result, that starts to change. So instead of looking at page 1, let's look at page 39. Okay, this is still solid. These are still count items. There's not a bunch of books. 12 count, 10 count, 10 count. Okay. Okay. And look, there's some baby items. All right, I think we may have found the rest of our items. Fantastic. So what I'm going to need to do now, let's see, how much time do we have? 9 minutes. I have a couple options here because I don't want to show you guys the list creation part too much just because, I mean, it's good to understand it for when you want to do it yourself, but really it's just boring, isn't it? So you guys know I'm going to finish that list. I'm going to try and get like 11,000, 12,000 items. So probably, I mean, ideally all of these are solid results, but unfortunately that's probably not going to happen. So I'll deal with that later. But one thing I do need to do is set up my pricing and repricing settings in SKUgrid and Hydra. so that this is posted properly. So I think that's what I'm going to do next, because that's something that you guys will benefit from. So I'm going to go into Hydra Lister. And also, before I do that, I'm going to show you how to purge your Hydra Lister, because I've posted tons of these items before, right, on my old account. Well, on this account when I bulk posted originally. So whenever I try and post them, then Hydra will be like, oh, this is a duplicate. You already posted this in the past. And that's good. It's a safety check. But considering now my store is empty, I don't have to worry about posting something I already posted in the past. So I have to reset Hydra. And I already did this, but I'm going to show you where to go to do it in case you need to reset Hydra yourself. And you're going to have to do this anytime that you kind of reiterate your store or all of your items get deleted, because Hydra will think that you've posted things that are still live on eBay when the reality is that they were canceled, right? So let's scroll down and go to our settings. I think if we go to our our global settings, and there's two interesting things here. So this is where you can edit your, if you want to opt into Vero protection. I recommend you do, because then it's just, especially when you're bulk listing, it's so easy to just replace items with other items. Why not just learn what items don't create problems, right? So what we're going to do here is enable Vero protection. We want to capitalize the titles. I don't want to compare my items, and I don't want to use custom UPCs. So this is what we're going to talk about, is the bad word filter. What this is going to do is trim the list. So when the URL gets entered, if it contains any of these keywords, then Hydra is not going to post it. And this is actually quite useful because you can customize your, you can customize it, right? So I use things like multiple or choose, because these words often indicate that you have like a variety of items to pick from, and that doesn't work well with bulk. You want to avoid variations when you're bulk listing. So we're going to get rid of multiple. We're going to get rid of choose. We're also going to get rid of personalized, prescription. What else? Luckily, actually, the pack of and CT keywords don't have very many Vero items in general, because they tend to be consumables, which are just, you get less issues. So I don't really have to worry about this a whole lot. And also the pack of and count filters are, there's not going to be too many weapons or like guns and that kind of thing, and that's where you kind of get into trouble with eBay, is anytime you sell anything that mentions an assault rifle in any way, you can't do that. That's why I have these two like AK-47 and M16 filters here. But that was much more of a problem when I was just blindly bulk posting items, before I'd learned to kind of optimize and pick the items that I think are more likely to produce a sale. It's really not as much of a problem now. Like back when I was raw posting things, I got Veros, like I got like 5 to 10 Veros a day for a month or two after I would bulk post. And we're going to get some Vero things here that we have to deal with, but nowhere near that many, just because of the nature of the items that we're posting. We're not posting the same style of items. We're posting a specific kind of category that's much more likely to produce sales, because we're actually eliminating all of the fluff items. I didn't used to eliminate them. I just used to post the whole search result. I would literally go, instead of making a document, I'd just be like, paste into Hydra, boom, 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 boom. So no more of that. I learned my lesson. Okay, so I think we should be fine with this keyword. That'll finish the rest of it, but let's talk more about this. So the button that I was talking about earlier, clean account, this is what I clicked. And this deletes Hydra's memory of what you have already posted and enables you to post things a second time. So if the item is still on eBay, it's going to result in creating duplicate items. But since my eBay account is empty, I don't have to worry about that, right? So that's where we do that setting. And now what we need to do is go to our pricing. So we're going to go to our batch single lister settings and then click on US. And this is where we're going to be able to change how our items are priced. And this is kind of the moment that we've been talking about, because the strategy for this account is to earn little when our items sell, unless they sell multi-quantity, and to really focus on getting as many multi-quantity sales as possible. Before, I came from the end of bulk posting and having a really high profit margin. I would mark things up like with a $10 minimum. So sometimes I'd sell like a $9 item for 20 bucks, you know? So what I'm trying to do now is come from the other end. And in this reality, I'm trying to just post as many items that can produce those multi-quantity sales, because that's where the money was when I bulk posted before. And I'm going to accept that I'm only going to earn $1, $2, well, $2 or $3 per my regular sale, right? I'm not trying to get a whole bunch of profit from regular sales. What I'm trying to do is get those multi-quantity sales to happen regularly. And I think that I can do that by posting at a smaller markup, right? So we're not like losing money on our regular sales, but we're not earning like $10 or $5. We're earning like 2 or 3. The main reason I'm doing this is because, again, I always came from the other end before, where I was trying to have my margins too high and learn to lower them. Now I'm going to experiment from the other end, and then I'm going to be able to find a kind of happy medium, right? Okay, so listing duration is good. We don't need to worry about any of this. All right, let's keep going. This is where we get our formula. So this formula is bad because this was set up to post WebStrong store items, which I never actually did. And it had a fixed markup of 20 bucks. So we're going to get rid of that. What we want is no minimum margin. We are very lucky in that we're relying on the fact that SKUgrid can actually tell that Walmart charges $6. So it's going to multiply your prices based on the cost of the item plus the shipping fee, okay? And every single one of our items has a shipping fee. So what we need to do is a small markup that gives us some profit, but not enough profit. Because the idea is to rely completely on these multi-quantity sales, get as many of them to happen as possible. So what I'm probably going to do, because I have Walmart sales tax exemption, which enables me to post things for cheaper margins, because 80% of the time I don't have to pay sales tax to Walmart. So I could probably do like a 2.5 or a 0.3. Let's do an example. Let's say that the item costs, my cheapest item is going to cost like $10 basically. So let's say it's a $10 item and we use, okay, what we're going to do is change this to 30%, keep all of these at 0, and then click test formula. Enter the value for this formula. Is that like the name? Default bulk multi quantity. Oh, okay, so now I see. We're going to test the formula as if it's a $10 item. What would it price it for? $13. Okay, would that earn any money? Because we want to look at what the cheapest item selling would sell for, and we want the cheapest item to earn us between $2 and $3, okay? So we have $10 sale price. So we're going to lose like, let's just multiply that, 10 times 0.8, and then it would be like 6 something. Let's just do 8.5. So we're going to accommodate 15% for fees, even though it's actually less than that. 8.5, and then I'm doing this math wrong. I apologize, guys. I know I'm stumbling all over myself right now. Okay, $13 is the final value fee. So we want to multiply, or $13 is the sale price. So that's what the final value fee would be taken out of. And we're going to multiply it by 85%. So we would see $11 of that minus 10, and then minus 30, and then minus, whoa, plus 30, whoops. Plus 30 minus 0.3. So that would only be like 75 cents. So we may actually want to have a higher margin here. But the reality is that most of our items are not $10 items. Most of our items are at least like, the sale price would be like 20 bucks, because most of the items are between like $20 and $40 a cost. So let's see what a $16 times 1. We're going to go in here. I know I'm being really confusing, guys. I apologize. Okay, so if we sell a $16 item, which would be a $10 item plus shipping, it's going to sell $20.80 times 1.2, no, 1 point, what am I doing? Why am I so out of it? Not 1, we're going 0.85. Thank you. 17 minus 16. So this is, and this isn't even with all the fees. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to increase this. Not by a whole lot, though. I don't want to use quite 1.4. What we're going to do instead is use 35%. So again, this means that on most of our sales, we're barely going to earn anything. And I'm not sure that I'm going to stick with this. I may up it, but for now, I want to produce as many multi-quantity sales as possible. So I'm going to post items cheaper to see if that will work. Okay, and we'll learn. You know, I'm not posting hundreds of thousands of items, so it's not the end of the world. It's only 10,000. So that's way less than I worked with before. So anything that it happens is, I know I'm going to be able to manage it. So let's see if this is right. If we price a $10 item, it should be $13.50. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is click save, actually. Enter the name for this formula. Default bulk multi-quantity focus. Okay. All right, so we're saving that. Okay, it's already saved. We're good. 3.5, and now what we're going to do is just go next, because the Hydra part doesn't matter a whole lot. Yeah, this used to say shit ships fast, ships overseas, don't like it, send that shit back. But I changed that just to be more PG. I was just kind of experimenting to see if eBay would get mad at me. And they did for 14 of the listings, or like 20 of them. For like 3 days, I got messages saying, please change the wording of this listing, and this listing. But I changed like 60,000 of the listings, and they told me to fix 24 of them, and then just completely stopped and never did anything about it, which I thought was really funny. Okay, so this is good. There was an issue, because I may have a Chrome extension called Grammarly, which causes issues when you mess with the template. It puts some like metacode in here. I think Hydra has fixed that, but we will see later if we get an error. So now our Hydra lister settings are correct. Keep in mind, if you're using Hydra lister for the first time, you're still going to need to sync Hydra lister up with your eBay account and with SKUgrid. So what I need to do is go and make sure. Yeah, I've already done that, and I'm not going to get into that too much. What we need to do now is go into SKUgrid, and we need to set up the pricing in SKUgrid, because Hydra lister is just, that is what the item's going to be posted at. That's the price it's going to get when it's posted. But it's going to rapidly lose that price because we're using a repricer. So as the price changes with the source, we want to keep the correlation so that whenever the item sells, we're, earning some money. And so that the item is taken out of stock on our eBay store when it's out of stock at our source. So we're going to be using SKUgrid to do that. SKUgrid syncs up with Hydra lister. So you use them together. Every item that you post using Hydra lister gets automatically posted into SKUgrid. So all that we need to do is make sure that our settings are set up properly. So to do that, we're going to go click on settings. And we want to change the pricing formula so that the pricing formula matches the one that we just made in Hydra lister. Obviously, if you want to, you can have different formulas in SKUgrid and Hydra lister. Just know that that SKUgrid is going to be the program that determines what your real pricing is. Because in Hydra Lister, you could post it at like triple its price, and then SKUgrid comes through and then puts it at a more reasonable price. That's doable. Or you could post it at a price that just breaks you even, and then you don't have and then that gives you kind of some time to maybe get like a sale to boost the credibility of the listing that you're not trying to earn profit on, and then the SKUgrid comes through and updates it. There's different strategies you can do. I'm not saying you should do any of those, but you can imagine how like you might want to do something in a certain scenario. So I don't like checking my items often because it just makes SKUgrid exponentially more expensive. You clicking every day costs 24 times less than clicking every hour. So I'm going to do it every day. And in my experience, most repricing issues come up after the item's been posted for like a week. So if you do it every day, you're still going to get some out of stocks and some repricing issues. But as long as you have systems in place, you're going to prevent most of them. We're going to keep number of items per page at 50. Theoretically, it'll load faster. Don't worry about any of these. And we're going to click Save Settings. And so now what I need to do is actually change the pricing. So we can do that by clicking on Marketplaces and then clicking on eBay. And from here, clicking on your appropriate eBay market that you're going to be posting into. We are posting into eBay US. So what I need to do now is change these settings. Our default quantity is 15. This is fine. I'm going to keep that. 15 is really high, I know, but the account is huge. And we really like, I want somebody to order 10 of an item. Because if somebody orders 10 of an item, even if I have break-even pricing, I automatically get $60 of profit for that item. Because every item is priced to include shipping cost. So the second that we get a buyer to order 2 or 3 or 4, then we get an additional $6 of profit per quantity of the sale, regardless to the fact that we're not earning very much on the regular sales, right? Most of the money from those regular sales is going to be kind of establishing cashback and all that kind of stuff. And this is still experimental. You know, this is the business model that I've come up with from my bulk work in the past. So it's going to need some tweaks, but I'm pretty confident that this is going to be the step towards whatever it is that earns me some good money, whether it's this or something else in the future. Okay, and we want to have this set to yes. Reprice only if price increased by at least, we're going to always reprice. So if it increases by at least 10 cents, and if it decreases by at least 10 cents as well. I always round to the nearest dollar. I don't know why. I just don't like the 0.85 and 3.5 and all that crap. For this, do not end out of stock lots. You want to make sure this is set to 0. Otherwise, you'll max your selling limits really quickly. We want auto update eBay stock. So you can use SKUgrid as just a repricer. So all it's doing is changing the prices, and it's not looking to see if items are out of stock. But we want the out of stock protection. So that's clicking. We want to click yes there. Don't worry about days and lots, and auto update eBay price. Yes, we want to do both of those things. So now we have the price formula. So what we're going to do is first we're going to go to our wizard view, and we're going to make the formula. These we're all going to set at 0. You could set everything. Oh, I have different ones here. Nice. We're going to load the 1.41. Apparently, I'd set that up at some point. I used to use a $15 minimum margin. So we're not using anything except a 3.5 margin. Okay? And we're going to set everything here to 0. Obviously, you do have other fees. There are PayPal fees. There are all of those kind of things. But I like keeping the math kind of simple with my repricer. And because I understand how the fees work and that kind of stuff, I know that, okay, it's not as simple as you just getting the difference in price. You have to pay eBay fees and all that kind of stuff. I know that I want a 35% markup on the item and include supplier shipping and calculations. SKUgrid is able to see that Walmart charges $6, so it does that. So that's really great. So we are going to click estimate price, and if we enter a $100 item, it should post for $135, $135. And if we enter a $10 item, it should post for $13.50. $13.50. Okay, cool. So this is working properly. So we are going to save this for later. and it is going to be called default bulk multi-quantity. Okay? Save. Go, 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 go. All right, so now we can close this. And I think, okay, messing with that should have now changed this buy it now price formula. So if we click on estimate final price and enter 100, it should give us 135, yeah. So before it was 140. So editing it in the wizard there saved it. So now it's entered here. And now what we have to do is go down to the bottom and click Save Settings. And as soon as we've done this, then everything's fine. Honestly, I have no idea what this buy box stuff is. If one of you is watching this and understands what these settings are, that would be awesome. You guys should share them with me because I don't really know anything about buy box aside from it's something that eBay offers and it's more like Amazon and there's history behind it. But anyway, that's this section. So now we've set up SKUgrid and we've set up Hydra. I haven't linked them to one another, but we're not going to worry about that for now. And what's our time getting at? 30 minutes. Okay, cool. So at this point, I'm going to end this episode. And you guys now know that I'm like 5,000 of this list done, right? Or of, where's the right list? Here we go. Right, we got about 500. I need about 12,000. So theoretically, now that I've shown you this part, I've shown you setting up Hydra and that kind of thing, you guys understand, all right, Jack's now making this list, and the beginning of the next episode, we're going to start with our full list of items, and I'm going to show you the whole posting process and how literally, like, we're going to be able to create an eBay store with 10,000 items in, like, 6 hours. And of that 6 hours, we're only going to be working for, like, 20, 30 minutes of it. The rest is just going to be Hydra posting items, right? All right, guys, I will see you next episode. Goodbye.